Hello guys, what is going on? I am NumbNexus, bringing you guys here an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon discussion video. I figured I want to throw my 2 cents. I haven't seen much people talk about this, so by all means, if you guys are excited for Ultra Sun and Moon and you just want to support the video, hit that like button for me down below. Subscribe for more content, as we'll be covering a lot of Ultra Sun and Moon stuff, as well as Pokken DX for you lovers out there. And let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what you think about all of this. But there does play an important role. There is one key factor, a player that was actually seen and shown in Pokemon Sun and Moon that plays a significant role when it comes to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So I theorize, and I think that person is definitely Colress. Now, if you think about the Black and White 2 story, Colress is the one that designed the splicer to be able to splice up and combine Kyurem with Zekrom and Reshiram to create Black Kyurem and White Reshiram. Did that even come out right? Black Kyurem and White Kyurem. I said White Reshiram. Black Kyurem and White Kyurem, right? And now Colress was seen in Sun and Moon in the Alola region coming back. I'm pretty sure his whole thought process was just sightseeing, kind of like a lot of other people from 5th Gen. But maybe they hinted this a lot, because when it comes to 5th Gen, the whole aspect of that was gene splicing. Because there's that gene splicer within Pokemon Black and White 2. You had the Greevil, I think his name was, the dark elite phone number that came up and pulled up within Alola. I just think it's coincidence. There was also Colress as well that pulled up in Alola. That's not a coincidence. I think since he designed the gene splicer, he is the one that's going to be behind the whole aspect of when it comes to Necrozma fusing and gene spliced within Solgaleo and Lunala. Because if you haven't seen it already, visually you can see that Solgaleo and Lunala definitely have fused up here with Necrozma. And that's why everybody says that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon may as well be called Sun 2, Moon 2. I think that's a reach, and you guys should chill. They have their own story elements, but they do have similar key factors, and one similar key factor is their box art legendaries were fused within another third trio legendary within the whole duo, and which is now playing in a role then with the sequels, because this is like an alternate storyline, I guess I would say. It's like an alternate story, I would say. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a continuation. Maybe it's a few years after, who knows? We're still very in the dark when it comes to this. I mean, the game was really announced literally yesterday, but when you put a lot of this together, when we saw that Solgaleo and Lunala are fused up with Colress, maybe Colress has something to do with it. Either that, or someone has figured out the gene splicer, right? And Colress is just the one that made it, but they probably figured out the gene splicer and put the 2 and 2 together. Because when it came to the whole Sun and Moon story, the legendaries, how do I put this? They played a role, but for once, the bad guys really weren't after the legendaries. You know, when you think about it, all the other Pokemon games, they have been after the legendaries. You know, there's Giovanni in the Mewtwo, when he worked on that with his lab in Generation 2. You had Eugene, whatever he said his name, who's after Suicune and stuff like that. And then when you put in Gen 3, you obviously had Team Magma and Team Aqua. Gen 4 is Cyrus when it comes to Dialga or Palkia or both or anything like that, whichever one you played respectively. And even in Platinum, when he was trapped within the Distortion World, to Giratina. All of that when you put together Gen 5, they wanted to free Pokemon, and their whole end with the Zekrom and Gettis trying to keyword free Pokemon. That's what they call it. And Gen 6, Lysander, when it came to Evoltar Xerneas to create his perfect world, all the villains have really been after the legendary Pokemon. But in Sun and Moon, that wasn't really the case. Team Skull, yeah, they were bad guys, but that's it. They weren't geniuses, they were just ruthless thugs that were bad guys, and they were really manipulated by Team Aether and Lucami when it came to that, and they kind of just did everything that she wanted them to do, or what Team Aether wanted them to do. So yeah, they're a little misleaded, but at the same time, they would do anything for money, and they would do anything just because they're bad guys. But Lucami and Team Aether, they were really interested more in Ultra Beasts rather than the legendaries. And if you didn't know it, if you didn't finish the storyline and the story mode of Pokemon Sun and Moon, the legendaries, yes, they are Ultra Beasts. Solgaleo is an Ultra Beast, and Lunala is an Ultra Beast, but Necrozma is not. We're on the same page. Necrozma was confirmed not to be an Ultra Beast. And we all thought he was an Ultra Beast due to the leaks. No, he was not an Ultra Beast at all. he just so happened to be a legendary Pokemon, which we absolutely know nothing about. And usually when there's a legendary Pokemon that is very mysterious, that we all think is gonna play a role, ends up playing a role. It's like when we saw Giratina in the Cave of Origins. What was the Cave of, it was that spot. That spot. I mean, it's gonna kill me. But he was in that spot, right? And I'm telling you, the first time I saw Giratina, I thought that yes, he's gonna play a big role. This guy is fitting the duo. And when it came to Necrozma, he kind of looks like an Ultra Beast. Being a Solgaleo Lunala Ultra Beast, everybody already assumed that he's gonna be playing such a massive role in keyword Pokemon Stars, which would be the third installment to Pokemon Sun and Moon, being the Emerald and Platinum, not necessarily the Black and White 2. But they changed that era, Game Freak, and they kind of made it like the Black and White 2. I wouldn't really necessarily call this a third installment, being more of like a sequel, a continuation. Maybe it's a couple years after. A lot of people are saying that it's a whole different timeline. I'd be kind of cool since it does go by the whole wormhole aspect and Ultra Beast and such like that. So I would necessarily say that this is more along a sequel. We'll see where that goes from now, but that's just my thoughts. That's my 2 cents. But going back to it, not to get off here, Colress is the creator of the Gene Splicer. Now, if, let's say, for example, Lusamine still goes nuts again and obtains his Gene Splicer and then figures out that these are the Ultra Beasts as well, Solgaleo and Lunala, putting 2 and 2 together could be some mayhem. Who knows? And it's interesting, too, that Zygarde is extremely irrelevant when it comes to all of this, you know? But Colress does play a large role when it comes to all of this. He does play a role, because he is the creator of the Gene Splicer. Now, we don't know if he directly plays a role or not, whereas maybe he's villainous and he partakes in this whole aspect of Necrozma being fused within Solgaleo and Lunala. We don't necessarily know that, but we do know, and from what the little information we gathered up from knowing this, Colress is the creator of the Gene Splicer. The Gene Splicer can combine and fuse Pokemon, and visually, and just factually, from what we know and can see, you know, making our observative skills here, Necrozma fuses with Solgaleo and Lunala. Why? We don't know. For what the origin? Don't know. But we do know, like I said again, is that Colress is the creator of the Gene Splicer, and the Gene Splicer is the thing that made this. And Colress is indeed in the Alola region. Now, I think even though if Colress isn't villainous about this, he may be assisting you with this, giving you more information. Because if you think about it, our character that we play in Sun and Moon has absolutely no idea about this. And there really isn't any characters that know other things about other storylines in other Pokemon games. It's really just the AIs that know that. The characters that play significant roles in the story mode, like Cynthia and Lance when it comes to Gen 1 and 2, and you know, and stuff like that, and even Steven when it comes to that with the Megas and X and Y and stuff like that. So it's really those guys that play roles and necessarily remember things that happen in alternate Pokemon story modes. But when it comes to this, Colress actually may be on our side and maybe assisting us here and maybe giving us some more information on what it comes to being the fusion of Solgaleo and Necrozma, Lunala and Necrozma. Now, really, they kind of just were nice. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we didn't even, how do I put this? They came from Cosmog. Now, my initial thought, I didn't see that coming. I'm not gonna lie. Then the leaks came out, and then I saw that coming. I think we all thought I saw that coming. But going into Sun and Moon, before seeing any leaks at all, I thought that Cosmog would, yes, maybe become Solgaleo and Lunala, if it did, but at the same time as well, that there is a separate Solgaleo and Lunala, one on the Sun, one on the Moon, and then Cosmog, which is down here with us on Earth, and would just eventually evolve into them. But it's an interesting concept. It's an interesting concept because it never had a Mon evolve into a legendary. It's interesting, you know what I mean? There's usually alternate forms. But I'm really excited for Ultra Sun and Moon. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, guys, this is just a discussion. I wouldn't really call this a theory, so if you expected this to go anywhere, don't. Like, this is just a discussion, throwing out my thoughts right now. My 2 cents, just kind of speaking my mind here. And throwing that out there that Colress is going to be playing a role when it comes to all of this because of the Gene Splicer. And the Gene Splicer is probably how Solgaleo and Lunala combined up with Necrozma. If not, they're Ultra Beasts. They can go far beyond the eyes and do unfeasible feats. So if anything, they probably just fuse up because they're Ultra Beasts and they can. But Necrozma is not an Ultra Beast. But Solgaleo Lunala can. So they're still very mysterious to us, you know? There's altars that they were in, the altar of the sun, altar of the moon, but they're still very mysterious to us because throughout the story, we really didn't know much of them. There was hardly any talk of them. We didn't really know much of them. We knew that they existed, we knew that they were an altar, and we knew that they were really powerful, and then we eventually found out they were Ultra Beasts. Otherwise, we didn't really know much about them. It was mainly Ultra Beasts that were heavily spoken of within Pokemon Sun and Moon, not really Solgaleo Lunala, but they were Ultra Beasts. But these were the only two Ultra Beasts that were hardly spoken of. I'd actually love to learn more about them. I would. I hope to get more limelight. I hope they get more screen time. People speak about them more. And I also hope that Silvally doesn't disappoint us. He was literally created to kill and destroy Ultra Beasts and defeat them. But he sucks. He fucking sucks. So, yeah. Ultra Sun and Moon, make Silvally to go further beyond. If you guys enjoyed though, by all means hit that like button for me down below. Subscribe. I know I ramble, but I'm just tossing out my 2 cents here until we get more information. I might do more discussion videos on other things that may sound similar to me. I'm probably gonna do another discussion video here about Alolan Mons and stuff like that. So tune in for that this week. But thank you guys for watching. It does mean a lot to me. If you guys enjoyed, just like, subscribe for more content. With that, I'll see you guys next time.